We've been getting a lot of comments and a lot of feedback about the shorts and the videos that we're doing on subject matter experts. So I might want to suggest that we go back over the 5 types of SMEs and not make this a long-winded discussion, but just, again, recognize that there are 5 different types of subject matter experts and what their roles are and how instructional designers can work with them. So I know we've talked about this a lot, but let's think specifically in a little more detail. So if you read one of my books or if you look at some of these videos, you're going to see that we talk about these not as an amalgamated group of people, but as at least 5 different types of subject matter experts that we can rely on. And I think the importance of that is the fact that we need to deal with them a little bit differently because each of them has a specific set of skills they bring to this process. And I think the way that we integrate them and bring them into the team and work with them has to be somewhat defined about what they actually bring to this process.
Yeah, and playing to someone's strengths is so important. We all bring skills and strengths that add value to a project. And to not look at that and not consider that is really wasting someone's time. And we never want to do that with SMEs. What they have to offer is very valuable, very knowledgeable. And so we want to play to those strengths as much as we possibly can. And so that's why I think it's important that we have these different roles segmented out, different types of SMEs, and why this conversation can be really important and pivotal for somebody.
Yeah, so let's look at the 5 types. We'll talk a little bit about each one, not spend hours doing each one, but I think it's important to think about these as very separate entities. So the 5 types are technical, hybrid, instructional, functional, and Sentinel. So let's go through each of those very quickly and give you an idea of what we're talking about here. And any comments you have, any thoughts that you would add or subtract, please put those in the comments. Let us know about that. Because this is just the 5 that I came up with. And not that anybody else could do a better job of it. So let's just go through these. So technical SMEs are traditional SMEs. These are folks that bring the knowledge of the content in. That's what they do. They do it seamlessly. They're going to provide all the information you know about this content. And that asset is the more traditional role of an SME. Now, a hybrid SME is one that both has this content knowledge, but also has experience presenting it. So teaching, facilitating, whatever. So they're a 1-2 punch, and these folks are really valuable if you can get them into the mindset of instructional design. Sometimes they want to stand in front of you and talk to you for an hour, but in terms of what they bring to this, sometimes they are the best folks to give you ideas about how to present this material to these audiences, these populations. So instructional, this is someone whose value within the design project is that they are really good facilitators and teachers. They may not have a lot of content knowledge, but they've been teaching forever, and they know different techniques and different ways to present material that's effective and efficient. So sometimes you just need somebody who can do that. Functionals are the ones that do all the outside work in the sense that they're not designers and they're not content experts. These are people that work on the production side. So these could be people that do video, that populate an LMS with a course, that take pictures, that do coding. Anything that's not traditional subject matter expert instructional design kind of skills will fall under this category. And the last is Sentinel. And these are the folks that manage the process from the other side of the equation. So you have the design side and you have the other side. And these can be managers, these can be board members, they can be lots of things. And sometimes they're even content SMEs to some level, though usually not current. Sometimes they are, but most of the time they have a background in an area which you may have to have a discussion about because it's not current or it's not specific to what you need for the course design. But I think those 5 types, at least in my experience, pretty well sums up the groups of people that I have worked with, Denise.
Yeah, and I think this is very helpful to have gone over this, to summarize it the way you did. And we hope that you all found it very helpful too. And like Chuck said at the beginning, if you have questions or comments about these 5 types of SMEs, go ahead and put them in the comments. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's learn and grow together as a community. Thanks again for tuning in.